And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show. We are live a little bit late, some technical issues. However, everything is squared away. Our special guest, she's all set, squared away. She just downloaded Google Chrome for the first time. So, and I'm laughing because if you knew what she and I just went through before, she only broke 3 dishes in the process of getting things set up so she can join us here on the show. She just learned on the fly about Google Chrome and browsers and her Mac not affiliating with the mic and the camera and it was hilarious. But she's here and she's ready to go. I am your host, Jim Masters, and you're watching the Jim Masters Show live. It's good to have you with us. It is about 7:15. Usually we pop on at 7, but we wanted to make sure everything technically with our guest is ready to go because a lot of you have been wanting to see her. She's amazing, and I'm so happy to have her here. Her name is Loretta LaRoche, and if you've watched PBS, then you've seen her many, many years. Matter of fact, I first was introduced to her through PBS when I interviewed her several times during some of her amazing PBS specials. She is a humorist. She is a stress management expert, and I'm laughing because she was really put to the test being a stress management expert and consultant tonight. I know she's probably laughing on the other end of all things to have a stress management expert on tonight. But, you know, with Loretta LaRoche coming on, it had to be like this because this is just one of those things in life where you got to go with the flow. You know what I mean? And she does, and I do. If I can only tell you a few things that she said on the phone, but we can't. We're on broadcast right now. She's an author, and again, she's had multiple public television specials. Again, we're so excited to have her here as my guest, and I just want to tell you a few things. She's hilarious. She's a riot. She is extraordinary. She's beloved. She is renowned. She's an Emmy-winning broadcaster. Loretta LaRoche, internationally renowned author, stress management consultant who advocates humor, optimism. That was, I'm laughing because basically that's what she and I just had to experience off air getting ready for today's show. Humor, optimism, there was a heck of a lot of that moments ago, and definitely resiliency as coping mechanisms. She's a favorite with viewers of her 6 PBS specials, as well as on the lecture circuit where she performs an average of 100 talks per year. She's founder and president of the Humor Potential, Loretta LaRoche and Company. She was born in Brooklyn, New York. She went to Sacred Heart University, or Academy, that is, Sacred Heart Academy in Hempstead, New York. And the university she went to was right there on Long Island, Hofstra University, where she received her Bachelor of Arts in Speech Therapy and Communications. She also has an honorary PhD from LaSalle College in Newton, Massachusetts, a graduate of Authentic Happiness Coaching with Dr. Sligelman, PhD. Her areas of specialization are stress management, positive psychology, and humor. Absolutely. Again, she and I, we've had so many laughs on television together. Matter of fact, when she was on in the studio at public television, we were having so much fun that the entire studio erupted in laughter, and the phones were off the hook. People were pledging so much support to public television. They're like, keep those two on. We love this. It was really amazing. She's received local and primetime Emmy Award nominee and the National Humor Treasure Award, honorary PhD, as mentioned, from LaSalle University, Humanitarian Award she's received, Woman of the Year, Alumni of the Year, Hofstra University, the Walter C. Alvarez Memorial Award for Medical Writing, presented by the American Medical Writers Association, inducted into, of course, the Friars Club in New York City back in 2009. She is also an adjunct faculty member, the Mind Body Institute of Boston, founder and president, the Humor Potential Incorporated, council member, Massachusetts General Center for Anxiety and Depression, keynote speaker, consultant, and lecturer. You know, with all of this, it's understandable why she doesn't have time to download Google Chrome. She's busy doing all of this. Her appearances, of course, Emmy Award-winning one-woman television specials on PBS, Juicy Living, Juicy Aging, 2009, Life is Short, Wear Your Party Pants, 2003, Get a Life, 2001, Relax, You Only Live Once, 1999, How Serious Is This, 1997, Humor Your Stress, 1995, The Joy of Stress, 1995 as well, with live appearances on CNN and ABC and NBC, live appearances on Caroline's on Broadway, at Caroline's in New York City. As far as other media, Parenting with Humor, The Humor Potential, Humor Your Stress, and so many other shows as we've mentioned. How to Be a Wild, Wise, and Witty Woman. Also, How to Prevent Hardening of the Attitude. Countless books, too. Let me show you some of the amazing works, too. And we have a lot of comments coming in already. Thank you for the comments. As mentioned, the Wise and Witty Stress Solution Kit. I think everybody should have that. And Life is Short, Wear Your Party Pants. I love this shot of her as well. That is quintessential. My dear friend, Loretta LaRoche. The Stress Buster Collection, Laugh Through Life. You've got to do that. And so much more. Kick up your heels before you're too short to wear them. That is just some of her humor. And again, another great photo there. I Concentrate on You. And another beautiful shot of my dear friend and beloved national treasure, Loretta LaRoche. She's amazing at what she does. Again, she's a humorist. She's a stress management expert. She helps us get through the craziness of life, all of the idiosyncrasies of life. Again, I remember the time on public television, she had asked me if I had an issue with how the paper came out, your toilet paper came out, whether I preferred it coming out from the top or from the bottom. And I said I preferred it from the top because less chance of snagging. And then she goes, oh, I see. That's really a big issue for you. And the studio erupted in laughter and the phones were ringing off the hook. She's got 3 children, 11 grandchildren. She's an avid gardener, avid reader, and she loves to sing jazz and blues. Let me welcome my illustrious guest. Again, she has just been christened on Google Chrome. So she's very happy to be here. The one and only Loretta LaRoche. All right, we'll take this picture off the screen here and we will welcome her to the show. There she is. There you
I don't look like that anymore. That's a photo from when I was 12.
That was wait a minute. You're not that?
No, that's not me anymore. That's the person I'd like to be.
The essence of you is always there, and you are a hilarious person and a witty person and a delight.
Oh my God, I'm so tired of all that Chrome and Google and Boogle and Smoogle and please give us a break. Just let us live.
So what was the experience like? I mean, this is a cool, unique way to kick off, a live show, a guest appearance. Would you open up?
I didn't know.
Did you open up a window, or were you pulling your hair out trying to figure out Google Chrome?
I was trying to get my hair to look fatter than it is. As you get older, You have hair where you don't want it, and hair where you need it, it doesn't show up.
So, I told you, folks, you're in.
I can find the hair. I found the hair growing out of my chin that I needed on my head.
Did you ever think that you would be told that your browser didn't accept you?
No, I thought that was my second husband.
I still like the toilet paper to come out over because less chance of snagging. It gets caught between the holder and the wall if you try to do it from under.
Well, that's better than going into a restroom in a restaurant where the toilet paper is in sort of a spiral thing that you put your hand in and it gets stuck in there. It's like a something at a circus. You go and you ride the circus wheel and there it is. It's in there. It's ridiculous. It's like a Ferris wheel.
You are so right. So so let's talk about
the whole toilet paper.
The toilet paper thing is a rough one. It really is.
Stupid.
So what?
Go out and get a brand.
So if you're just joining us, folks, a humorist, stress management consultant, author, and beloved individual, national treasure, as I mentioned, several public television specials. Tell us a little bit. I went over the background, just from the accolades and the awards and everything. But as far as
that was amazing.
Is that amazing? Yeah, really. And it's all you. It's all you, Loretta.
Well, thank you. Maybe I can hire you to be around when I totally lose my mind and you can remind me who I was.
Well, you'll always have to remember I helped you with Google Chrome. You're like, the hell is this? I got to download Google Chrome and my browser doesn't work. What?
And then the Zoom thing where people in little cubicles, it looks like you're in a movie where they're checking security to see if terrorists are trying to get in your house.
Yeah. So how this will go down in history. This is as funny as when we were in the public television studio together, if not funnier, Loretta. You're a performer. You just did a phenomenal TED Talk. You do stage performances, lectures. You brought into corporations to speak.
Right.
But of course, you've had, 6 very popular PBS specials over the years. And I've had an opportunity to, again, interview you on those. And they've been very successful. And you and I just hit it off right away. Maybe both being from New York originally. There's that sort of New York thing. We hit it off right away and we stayed friends in a communication. I came out to Plymouth.
Right.
Come to think of it, it took us 15 minutes to get on the air here. And then when I came all the way out to Plymouth, there was a fire alarm that went out. And you had to be evacuated out of the auditorium during the middle of your show.
Right.
Is that something that happens when we're together?
PBS ought to put some funny stuff on. They don't have anything funny on.
That was hilarious.
I think it's a curse.
It must have been a curse. How have you been? I know I can't wait to hear the answer. It's going to be a loaded question. How has the incomparable, always hilarious Loretta LaRoche been surviving the pandemic? Hold on, everybody.
Well,
here she comes.
What can you do? I just keep buying toilet paper and seeing how much I can gather and put it in the garage. I don't know. I don't know. I've always been a self-amuser, so I just try to amuse myself. I have a partner I live with, and sometimes I want to kill him because he keeps asking. He comes up. He watches martial arts for whatever reason. He's 78 years old. I don't know if he thinks he's going to get a gig doing that. And he comes up and asks me, "So what are you doing?" So what could I be doing? I'm in my bedroom, sitting in a chair. Oh, I'm practicing my tango lessons. I thought I'd do the flick, the Argentinian flick now. I'll show you that. I mean, really?
That's a word you do not want to mispronounce on air. Flick.
No, no. Yes.
That is funny.
I'm
So,
just trying to go with the flow. What can you do?
well, I want to show some folks so they really get a good sense and essence of your extraordinary wit and wisdom and your humor and so much more. Again, if you're joining us, we did start a little bit late, some technical stuff in there, some gremlins in the systems, and you know how it works with technology these days. But our very special guest who's already started drinking early in the evening to get through it all.
Yes, I have.
Good lady. We are here, and I'm Jim Masters, your host. You're watching live on Facebook and YouTube, the Jim Masters Show Live. Loretta LaRoche from her beautiful home. I'm noticing what I may go back to this graphic, because if you look at your graphic,
Yes.
it says LaRoche.
Yeah, it does say LaRoche. That's pretty funny. I didn't put LaRoche. I put Loretta LaRoche.
Are you now a law firm? Where's the third LaRoche? Then you're a law firm. LaRoche, and LaRoche.
I'm really a gynecological office.
I always heard you like to go deep.
I do. Well, that might be the only thing left at this age, is to go to the gynecologist.
So I think we might switch to there you go. Loretta LaRoche. There she is. This is hilarious. I love this.
Hi there.
It's so classic.
All right. I don't know. Is that better?
Oh, there you go. All we had was from the bottom lip up before.
Okay. Well, that's probably the best part. That's why I did it.
So
if you go any lower, it's like the Parkinson's disease.
I forgot to show this lovely picture of us. Showing people how far back we go. This is a great shot of us.
Oh, God. Yeah, I have that. I love that shot. I love it.
Isn't that a great one?
Look at that.
That's a cool one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can see the friendship there. That I believe was actually that evening in Plymouth. Yeah, that was captured. I think, you had a little post thing afterwards that we all went to.
I thought that was in New York.
You think that was? Because I remember we went to a restaurant after the show in Plymouth too. Yeah. But that's a cool shot of us. Yeah, that's a great shot.
We could get married.
Well, now that you've downloaded Google Chrome, I think we can.
Right.
I want to show some clips that I found and dug up, so people get a real, true essence and sense of, we're having a lot of fun tonight, as we always do, but there's a real reason. So. Yeah. Have another glass. Get her more ice, please. Stop the tango lessons and get her some more ice. I
hear people laughing in the background.
Of course, I come with my own studio audience.
I love it.
I can't wait till you tell the neighbors that you now have an understanding of Google Chrome and you're on it. It's gonna be you're gonna be talking the neighborhood.
I can Zoom too.
Zoom. Right. We're gonna show some clips. I want to show you Loretta. At her best. I mean, she's at her best right now, but we want to show you more of her best.
I'm not at my best now, at my work.
Share the links.
Hey,
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm like an old sausage.
Just go ahead. That's it. All right, here we go, folks. Get ready. You're going to have some fun here. She is amazing. She really is. Here we go.
Okay, everybody up on your feet. Let's go. Woohoo! Let's strut our stuff. It's time to let the good times roll. Despite the economy, the swine flu, ex-husbands, rotten kids, illnesses, problems, you're gonna die anyway. So every day you have to capture the day and have fun within that day. That's why I love that song, Let the Good Times Roll. A lot of us are waiting for the good times to roll, and all we're doing is getting more rolls. I keep wondering when mine are going to end. One roll is now on the next roll, on the next roll, on the next roll. I have a new yoga pose I do now. Downward facing crutch. Well, I've been teaching stress management for about, almost 30 years. I'm practically dead. And I'm sick to death of the whole thing. Every time I tell somebody what I do, they say, "Can you help me?" And I say, "Why don't you help yourself, for God's sake? Why don't you just help yourself?" It's true, isn't it? Wah, wah, wah. Get the wambulance. People just don't get it for the most part. We keep searching and searching. Maybe I'll find it here. Maybe I'll find it over there. Maybe I'll find it over there. Here it is, finally. Some of us have to stop seeking and just start having some fun, for God's sake. You know, many of us are prisoners of our thoughts. We've spent years attached to stories that don't serve us anymore. Some of us are victims. We've been dragging this corpse around for our whole lives. Stories from the past. "Oh, my mother cared more about my brother. Oh, God. I had toxic parents. Wah, 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 wah. My ex-husband didn't give me what I needed. My wife sucked. My boss stinks. I didn't get the right job. I wish I was taller. I wish I was thinner. Every time I get to a light, it turns red. Wah, wah. Does any of this sound familiar? Don't you get sick of your own voice? Well, I have a metaphor to share with you, a wisdom word. Get off the cross, somebody else needs the wood. Now, I think it would be a great idea to become a martyr and use it as a tool for humor. If you want to be a martyr, get yourself a martyr kit. Get a piece of Velcro, put a piece around your wrist, another around your head, snap it together. Then you can go around telling everybody, "Oh, nobody cares." And you know what? They don't. And see, there's a lot to be a martyr about today, too, because I forgot to include something. We can't even enjoy things today. Can you enjoy things without being reported? When's the last time you ate down and sat down at a meal and you just ate and drooled all over yourself and went, "Oh, delightful"? Now there's somebody there saying, "How many grams are you having?" So now we have everybody involved, don't we? We did our big toothy grin. Now open your eyes. This makes you look alert. Now raise your eyebrows. This makes you look tall and thin. That's your new low-fat face. Now everybody, reach down and grab hold of your belly. Keeping in mind that you must take ownership of whatever you've created. If you fed it, it's yours. Now, some people are lucky. They have different sections they can hang on to. So just decide which layer you want to hang on to. Now, if you don't have enough of your own, hang on to the person next to you. Now, the next part is very easy. I want you to look at somebody's face so that you can experience joy yourself by looking at somebody else. So look at somebody's face. Hang on to your belly. We can't get along, male, female. Oh, that's a whole thing. The relationship stuff. You could exhaust yourself. You can't go out with somebody anymore. You have to give them a test. You want to give them a Myers-Briggs test. You want to see where they fit in. They might not be where you are. Who knows? I should have read a book like that years ago. We used to know that men were men and women were women, but not anymore. Now we have to make a man into a woman and a woman into a man. And we spend days and hours and hours and hours and days saying, oh my God, if you really liked me, this is what you do. They don't want to do that. Men don't care what we do. They're not interested in listening to us either. Basically, all they see is blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, sex. Blah, blah, sex. Maybe when you're finished talking, we can have sex.
You wanted to flee in case a saber-toothed tiger attacked your cave. But now you're in your car. The body doesn't know the difference. So it starts reacting like it's protecting itself from a tiger. So your eyes get narrow so you can see. Your hearing becomes more acute so you can hear in case the animal leaves its vehicle and attacks yours. Your hands get clammy as blood flow rushes to the extremity so you can fight or flee. And your diaphragm and anus lock. Nature is wise. You reach for a spear in your back seat. Wow. You did a good job. Now, how can that work into your life? Well, think of some of the things that go on a daily basis. Why not ask for a standing ovation once in a while? When you go into work, get a couple of people to greet you. Say what you normally do, but ask for a standing ovation. Say, hey, look, I came in, it wasn't easy. I'd like a standing ovation. Try it when you go home. Walk in the door. Say, hey, I'm back. I could have gone someplace else. But I came here instead. Now, another way to deal with stress.
That's scary, seeing myself in all those different stages of life.
Isn't that amazing, the amount of people's lives that you've touched with your wit and wisdom and humor?
I know.
It's all hilarious, but there really is truly a message and a method to all the madness, right? Loretta, tell us what that is.
Well, I've always been fascinated by how the brain functions, philosophy, psychology. I started reading books about psychology by Aaron Beck and all kinds of people who wrote about using cognitive behavioral therapy. I found out that what we do is we distort reality with the way we perceive our lives and other lives and the situations at hand. And we come out with essentially a lot of absurdities, but we aren't really conditioned to understand that what upsets us can be really funny. Not everything, of course. There's tragedy, there's all kinds of things. But Albert Ellis really was the sort of mentor that helped me see how ridiculous some of the things we say. Like when I was with my ex-husband, and he would get in the car, and as soon as we got on the road, he would say, where did all these cars come from?
Right.
I mean, that's totally absurd. It's a road. Why are you making yourself crazy over something that is normal? And people do this every day. They wake up, I wonder if it's going to rain. Well, keep wondering. It might, it might not. It's like everything becomes an issue. We have 60,000 thoughts a day, and many of them we allow to disturb us, and then we disturb other people. We can't seem to keep it to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We like to share it.
Exactly.
And we're an energy, and our energy permeates the atmosphere around us. So when you start telling everybody how tired you are, I don't know what's going to happen today. I'll be tired when I get home. Well, you didn't even leave yet, and now you're telling us you're going to be tired when you get back. It's just it's just crazy.
It is, isn't it? It really. Yeah. Have another swig. What do you have in the glass?
Yeah,
Anything?
I am.
Some tea, or is it a little?
Well, no.
I have. Yeah. What is it? Yeah.
It's vodka. Vodka.
Well, of course.
It's Ciroc, which is a grape vodka. I don't drink that much. Toast to you.
A toast to you,
But,
Loretta.
I thought it would be fun tonight. I'm fascinated by the human brain. I've studied a lot of neuroscience. I've been privileged to be with some of the most outstanding researchers and thought leaders in the world, including the Dalai Lama, that I did a program with. And I'm just fascinated by what we do. We create stories, and then we don't know how to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
We just live by some of the stories that don't even make sense. We should be teaching critical thinking skills in the kindergarten.
Absolutely. Here's a question that actually comes in from
And we
Thomas
don't.
Treelor. Hey, Jim, ask your guest how to manage stress from working at home. Please don't use my name as a friend, is asking. So how do you, because there's a lot of people now that have been, doing the social distancing with their family and their loved ones.
Yes.
So he's asking, how do you survive that?
Once again, it's perception. How do you look at it? Have you looked at it as a prison sentence? Oh, now I'm a hostage in my home. And think about how a lot of people talk about their job, and I can't wait to get home. Well, now you're home. So now I can't wait to leave. It's like, essentially, we're never happy. Make the best of where you are, because you don't know where you're going to be next. The fact of the matter is that it could be a lot of fun being home. How can you make it fun and interesting and different? Because it's not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Right. Exactly.
It'll segue into maybe you'll go back, and then you can complain about that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's not easy. I'm not trying to diminish anybody and say, oh, no, this is easy, because you were used to being with other people, colleagues, etc. And now you may be home with a bunch of children who drive you crazy.
Right.
But we are, you have to ask yourself, how did you survive your life?
Mm-hmm.
And can you continue to survive your life? Because we've been through many, many different situations in America. Yeah. And we've come out the other end, and we're still here.
And
that's what you have to think about.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. We're still here. Mary Jones says, fun. You're both fabulous. Well, thank you very much. That's.
I think we are too.
These are the good old days.
I think we ought to do our thing once in a while.
Yes. We've talked about that. And Karen Levitt, who lives in New Hampshire, she says, what you think you become. That is right. And Christopher Joseph says,
that's
great
right.
Keeping
Epictetus said that. 69 AD, Epictetus said, you are what you think about.
Mm-hmm. You really, really are. Absolutely. Yeah. So what are some of the things these days, Loretta, that you see people are really getting hung up on? I think that I've talked to so many people. I think that we're sort of in a bit of a reset here with this pandemic, where maybe it's giving us time to pause and bring back empathy and kindness and some of the things that we've all been complaining about. Everybody's complaining there wasn't enough kindness, not enough empathy. People weren't saying, please, thank you, you're welcome, road rage. And we were social distancing before we actually had to social distance because we had our heads in our cell phones and everybody on social media. And now we have to social distance and nobody likes it, but we were already doing that. So this is sort of a reset. Right. We could really, harness this for the positive, right?
I think the universe finally came to our aid and said, you know what? You got to get a grip. Because you're no longer human. You're not acting like humans. You're acting like human doings. And we really have to get back to connecting with one another. We are a tribe. And I think this is really resetting, as you said. I say it's finding the bless in the mess.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it'll bring back more stability. Maybe people will recognize that you're not the center of the universe. I was just watching HGTV before we did this, and I thought, why is people so obsessed with their closets? Oh, this closet isn't big enough. I need a bigger closet. Where's the shelves of my shoes? Why did we get to be so obsessed with buying hundreds of shoes and clothes, and where are we going? I mean, who are you leaving your clothes to?
Right. Oh, I have a question. That room that's to the right of you, is that a closet? What's in there?
No. That's that's the hall. I don't have big closets in this house.
No, you don't need any.
This is an older house. It's like 30, 40, almost 40 years old. Yeah. And part of it's a ranch, but it didn't have big closets. And I don't know what you're putting in there.
Exactly.
What are you going to do? What about your 401k? You're going to sell your clothes? We spent a lot of time buying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff.
Yeah.
We always buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff became our identity. Oh, I got to have that. I better get that. Oh my God. Then the new iPhone's coming out and it vacuums.
You're right. iPhone. I think they're up to what? iPhone 480 by now. And people line up in front of the store in rainstorms and ice storms so they can get the latest purple color phone.
Right. And think about it. It's called an iPhone. Everything's I. I.
Me, I. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I have to take a selfie of myself 1,000 times because I don't know who I am.
They say the average person on Instagram takes 250 photos before they finally like one to post, and then it's usually super photoshopped and super filtered. Can you imagine that? What's real anymore besides you and me?
I don't know what we're doing with all these. I don't know what we're doing with all these photographs.
Right. Somebody is.
How many do you need?
They're going on servers in major companies. Everything that's posted goes into a vault somewhere, and everything is being saved. So who knows? It's going up It's going in the cloud.
Going in the cloud, wherever that is. I mean, I really have great nostalgia from my background. I think of myself, this little kid in Brooklyn with grandparents who baked and thought about enjoying the day, and my grandmother praying on her chair, the rosaries. And I don't know, it was much more community driven. People would come to the door and you'd welcome them. And now you see somebody coming to the door, you call the police. It's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how to have fun anymore with each other.
That is true. That is true. And when you do your conferences, I mean, right now nobody can go anywhere. You can't fly. You can't go anywhere. We're sort of homebound. That's a big message that you always share, is the fact that we get so hung up on some of these little idiosyncrasies of life. I love when you said where when we are in the car, all of a sudden this animal takes over, and then,
Right.
like, we're going to get our spear, and like we're going to attack the other guy before he attacks us. That
Yeah.
is truly how people do react. And you have this amazing and uncanny way of reflecting back on all of us these crazy scenarios and these idiosyncrasies and nuances and the nuttiness of life through your humor. And everybody's laughing in the studio audience or wherever it may be, because they see elements of themselves and of their loved
Right.
ones and their friends in everything that you're pointing out in the direct yet indirect way, which is an amazing thing that you're able to do, Loretta.
Well, if I can get people to realize how absurd they are, I mean, we're all a joke, you know. We're sort of we have an inner comic inside of us, and we don't realize that we use it every day. We don't access it because we get disturbed at a lot of things, and we don't realize how ridiculous we are. And the more you can access the understanding of absurdity and who you are in the whole relationship of the universe, the happier you will be.
Right.
Because you won't have to point out other people and say, see, look at them. No, look at yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly right. So what are some of the things that are bugging Loretta LaRoche in recent days?
Well, we won't get into the supreme leader.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we don't want to do that. What bugs me is that we still haven't figured out eyes behind the curtain. We still haven't realized how important it is for all of us to get along. Whatever you are, whatever you decide that you want to be, it's okay. You know, Afro-American, Caucasian, Asian, Muslim, whatever, gay, straight, in between. Accept the reality of who people are and embrace them, because this is what makes us interesting and different. I mean, if you want a clone, go to a lab and see if they have a sheep that looks like you. And then, you know, maybe that will work.
Right.
I mean, that's what I love about the human race, that we're all different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That we're interesting and we bring things to each other. And
right.
I think we still aren't there yet.
No.
We're still doing a lot of this mean stuff to each other.
Yeah.
And I think actually more than ever before, which frightens me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, you even during the pandemic, you do still see elements where people are going at each other and criticizing and attacking. I mean, you got one side that's wants to wear the mask to protect everybody, and then the other people like, you're not going to tell me to wear the mask, and then you wear the mask, and then they think you're wearing the mask to protect you, but you're actually wearing the mask to protect them.
But you realize how stupid this is? It's like a Jackie Mason routine. You're not wearing the mask. Oh, you want to wear the mask? Oh, I'm mad at you because you're wearing a mask. I'm not wearing one. What a waste of time. Go wear your mask. If you don't want it, don't wear it and get sick and die. That's all.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean, you've been observing this whole situation with the pandemic, and you've probably, I mean, there's so much material there just about how this whole thing is, you know, gone and progressed as well. It's also, again, like we said, it is a time to reset and time to really maybe come through this with a better way of being, right? We hope.
I hope so. I hope so. But, you know, I just taped something that's going to be used in, I don't know, in Canada. This promoter is going to do this whole thing with Live Nation. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking about some of the verbiage that we use, you know, unprecedented times. Well, we've always had unprecedented times. When I was in labor for 36 hours, that was unprecedented. And then we have lockdown. That's like a prison talk. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what they do when prisoners are going crazy? They say, oh, we got to get into lockdown. mean, why don't they use gentler terms, you know?
Right. Right. Exactly.
And they come up with all this fear messages, so everybody's twitching all day long.
And everything is breaking news. Every single story now is breaking news. It's not
my God,
breaking news. It's everything's breaking news. So how do you feel about that?
What we really need, we need a wisdom channel. We need to get older people on television talking about how they have enabled themselves to get through their lives, to share some of their resiliency.
Right. The wisdom, how they got through it all. Yeah. Right. There was a woman, I think they interviewed, there's 100 and whatever, and she had survived the Spanish flu, everything since, got COVID-19 and survived that too. Talk about resiliency. Huh? That's absolutely.
How's that? That's incredible. Does she speak Spanish now?
So you live there, you know, off the beautiful New England coast of Massachusetts, but originally you're from Brooklyn, New York, as we know.
Yeah.
And tell us about how growing up in Brooklyn with your family and your grandmother and all influenced a lot of what you do. Would you say that you were always humorous even as a child?
Yes, I was a breech birth. So once you come out like that, you're funny. I think so. I think, you know, they had a lot of drama and a lot of humor. And I was considered the mascot because I was the youngest, you know, the young one living with all these adults in this brownstone in Brooklyn. And they used to parade me out when they had company and had me act funny. And I had a Charlie Chaplin outfit, a bowler hat, a mustache, and a cane. And I could imitate him. So they'd have me walk around and imitate Charlie Chaplin. And I always had the ability to observe people. So sometimes when some of the wacky Italian cousins would show up, or whoever they were, after they left, I'd imitate them. So I think it's just in my, it's innate. It's in, you know, there it is. Even when I had my shoulder implanted and my knees and my hip, whatever I did, I make everybody laugh in the hospital.
That's they're there to comfort and take care of you, and you are comforting and taking care of them. It's
well,
part of what
I
you
don't know.
do.
The doctor who wheeled me into the operating room said, "I've never laughed this much bringing a patient into the operating room." Well, you know, what the hell? Here's the bottom line. You're only here to distract yourself till you die. You know, what do you want to do with the time?
Right.
What do you want to do with the time? And you know, a lot of it relates to how your chemistry is activated. You know, do you have a tendency to be more anxious and depressed or whatever? So that's something you might have to work on with the medication or therapy. But you've got to start concentrating on the fact that you only have a little bit of time here.
Really, it's true. You're right.
Do you want to spend the time making yourself crazy?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, if you think the worst and get the worst, you suffer twice. If you think the best and get the worst, you suffer once.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
exactly
I really think
exactly right.
It's who you are, your personality, your chemistry, your parents, all of that has a very big part of who you are.
It really absolutely is.
It takes work to change, really doesn't it?
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't like it.
Absolutely. I wanted to, we have some sidekicks that are a part of the Jim Master Show Live as well. And one of them is our dear friend, George Burns.
I love George.
He comes to say hello to you, Loretta. He's my he's my Ed McMahon. We did my Aunt Lillian used to collect all kinds of dolls, and when it was George's 100th, there was a limited supply of these, and she got it. My cousin Barbara gave it to me, so we did a nostalgic week to lighten the load and with levity and humor, and whipped out all the childhood toys. And this was a sidekick on just that one episode 4 weeks ago of the show. And everybody's like, keep George on the show. We want to see George Burns. So he's here. And we have the replica of the authentic replica of the I Dream of Jeannie bottle. And there's a problem, Loretta. Jeannie has been stuck in the bottle since March. She's very unhappy because she has not been able to go to the salons to get her hair done because she's been in quarantine.
Right.
And the salons have been closed. Since she's been quarantined in this bottle since March, she lost her powers. So she's ticked off. She can't do her hair. How you doing? You all right in there? Yes, master. So she's in there. She says hello. I don't know if you see her in there. Yes, master.
You're not, you know, let's face it, you're not well.
You can't be. Who is?
No.
Who is?
I don't know. I strive
think-
towards eccentricity.
Got this on a TV shoot while we were in Europe. This is Silver, aptly named. He comes to say hello as well, right? He comes to say hello. And then there's one other cast of character, Jimmy, who is here. This was a toy from childhood, made of porcelain. Parents gave it to me, and he's here to say hello to you as well. Now, how could you not smile with something like that, huh? Put a smile on your face. So,
one of the things that I recommend people do too is to reinvent their lives periodically. Don't become your own Groundhog Day.
Right. Exactly. Right.
I just started a band of people who are older, you know, like myself, like 80, 78. The baby is 65. He's the drummer. And we call ourselves We're Not Dead Yet Quartet.
I love that. That's right. That's
and
right.
We have a lot of fun. We did a lot. Every Friday we'd get together and jam.
Do you really? And compare notes and
not now, of course.
Yeah, no, it's
but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you've got to have fun. You know what I mean? I usually whip this thing out. Lights, camera, action. That's usually how we start the show.
Oh, no.
I always tell everybody, isn't it cool? And then I tell everybody to make sure that they relax. I found this in Newport, Rhode Island at one of the shops. And at the end of the show, I always tell people to relax and breathe. And count your blessings.
In Rhode Island?
Yeah, Newport. Yeah, that was in Newport. I tell everybody to breathe.
I love Newport.
Newport's great, isn't it? Because everybody makes such a big deal out of the littlest things, right? You know, it's just unbelievable.
Well, that's how people make money. So then they start breathing classes, and you got to go pay money to learn how to breathe.
Right.
And then you make your kale smoothie, and you wear your Fitbit, and you're all set.
You're right. So what's a typical day like for Loretta LaRoche as she observes life and the people within?
Well, right now, when I get up, I'll go online and read the paper, see what's happening, and if there's any new kind of research and stuff, I'll go and read that, and then I'll watch a little CNN until I can't take it anymore. I don't watch that much, and my partner, who's a jazz musician, is probably practicing downstairs. So you hear this huge elephant call, because he's doing his long notes. So
is that what that was? I thought it was your stomach because you were hungry. I thought it was your stomach growling because you were hungry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I try to figure out, what do we want to eat? Because, I love to cook. So I'll figure out what we're going to eat. And then we have a gym downstairs. So I'll go down and ride my bike and walk the treadmill and whatever, walk the plank. And then we might go out for a ride so that we can actually notice if there are other people on the earth beside ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I don't know. That's it. Right now, what can you do?
Right. Exactly. Do you have people, coming to you for solace, for support, for advice on how to get through all of this craziness?
Well, I've been doing some Zoom calls with organizations that have hired me to talk to their personnel. And this one thing I just did yesterday is going to go live with a bunch of other people throughout Canada and wherever else they're going to do it. So, a lot of my gigs got canceled that I was ready to do, but now they've been replaced with some of these Zoom things.
Mm-hmm. Some of these Zoom things. I could tell
I
you
know.
absolutely love the Zoom
I
things.
know. Well, now you're a personality. You've been on stage and wherever else. And how does it feel to be talking to people that aren't there? You know, I mean, whenever I talk, it's a big audience or it's an organization, and I can see the smiles or the nods of agreement or the access to the human energy. And when you do this Zoom stuff, you're talking into an abyss or a bunch of people in little squares like Hollywood squares.
Right. It's very true. It's totally different than when you're at the diner having coffee and a tuna melt, isn't it, with your friends and family and colleagues?
Yes, and you have to sort of reimagine what you're doing to make it work because the energy's not there. I riff off energy. I bet you do.
Oh, absolutely. I feed off the energy of others and then I give it back. Exactly. The conversation, the scenario, the scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's that. I mean, and we did that famously when we were on together on public television. We were just bang, 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 bang.
Awesome.
And it was just it was so automatic and people responded because again, the phone lines were ringing and the studio crew, you could hear them erupting with laughter. I still have that on a tape somewhere. That was just hilarious. But
I wonder why they don't play more humor. They have all these videos and they don't play them.
You got to have more humor. You know, there's only so much of the get taller, get richer, get thinner overnight stuff. Get younger and foot pain and everything else. Yeah.
Access your brain more, whatever. It's all BS. You're not going to get younger. You know, I love it when they go 40's the new 20, 20's the new 15, 15's the new 10, 10's the new embryo. You know, it's like, come on. Those stupid kale smoothies. I'm not having a kale smoothie. You know, I'll have a spaghetti smoothie. And all the cleanses, they sell these cleanses. What are you cleaning? You know, what are you cleaning? Isn't that what going to the bathroom does? Isn't that cleaning? Oh my God. No.
You know what's amazing, which I've told people, is how when you really come down to brass tacks, when you come down to it, certain elements of this pandemic have come down to two very basic human things. One is the use of the toilet paper and the shortage of the toilet paper and the toilet paper being the big thing. And how much more raw and basic can you get in life than the toilet paper issue? And then the second being going back to what your mother always told us to do, and that's to wash your hands. So we're dealing with the toilet paper and wash your hands to get through.
Wasn't anybody washing their hands before?
That's right.
That's kind of scary.
That's what I say. That's just that they're actually having to tell people to wash their hands multiple times and make sure you get between the fingers.
Yes.
Nobody was doing that earlier. That's not. Now think of all the hands you have shaken over the years.
And wiping down things after you use them, like in a restaurant or whatever. Now they're all wiping down and cleaning, washing their hands. So, I mean, we were eating things that were probably full of bugs and things, and we were still okay. But now we got to wash everything. Sing happy birthday. Okay. What about laughing? Laugh while you're washing.
Have you been able to find disinfectant wipes? We can't seem to find those.
It's all crazy. It's all, we really live in a world gone mad.
It really It really has. Now, do you think through the years that any of this has changed? You know what I mean? You know, all this advice, all of this having fun, laughing with you guys. Thanks, John. John's a wonderful musician and award-winning
Oh, I
guitarist.
love musicians.
He's terrific. Yeah, he's terrific. Good friend as well.
Where does
He's in New
he
Jersey.
play?
He
might know my partner. My partner was a really very well-known trombone player. Kenny Wenzel. He played with Artie Shaw.
Oh yeah.
Peter Frampton.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those are big names. And we were talking about how this has been, this has sort of been like the great equalizer, what we've been going through with this pandemic. But
right.
In all these years, with all of these books and all the lectures and the public television specials and the tours and everything that you've done, do you see any change for the good? Or are we still the same? We're always going to be the same. It's just craziness.
Do you see any change for the good? I mean, when I first started teaching, and I taught aerobics for a long time, that was like 1980. And I researched a lot of fitness. 23% of the population was exercising at that time. And now it's only 35 to 36%. So we haven't really increased our health status that much. And in fact, if you look around, a lot of people look like waterbeds with legs. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was standing, looking outside. People are shoving their bodies into clothing. They look like sausages. It's insane. We have like a 63% of obesity in this country. So are people paying attention to health? No, they're not. Because we have access to all kinds of food. You can eat in your car. Your dashboard is now like a kitchen counter. And here I'm going to Dunkies now. I'm going to Dunkies. My mother would have just killed herself if she heard that. I mean, make your damn coffee in the house and take it with you. You're going to spend $5 for a cup of coffee. You're nuts.
Well, yeah. And just the fact that they say donkey.
Donkey. I'm going to Dunkies. Oh, isn't that nice? Are they going to do something? Will they be at your funeral when you die? I mean, it's not. It hasn't gotten better. We haven't understood what we really need to do.
Exactly. I mean, I've even seen it locally. I've seen, even while everything else has been shuttered, the Starbucks has been open, and there's like a 2.5 hour line of cars to get the $7 coffee in the middle of all this chaos.
Isn't that nuts? It's nuts.
It's
make your coffee at home. If you spend $7 a day, every day, what is that? 7 times, what, $49 a week?
Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but at the end of the year, you've spent probably a couple $1,000s drinking coffee.
And think of all the time idling in your car with the fumes from the guy's SUV in front of you coming in your window. You're getting aggravated because you got to be somewhere. And then you go up there and they run out of the French vanilla that you wanted.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yes. And people get pissed.
Oh, yeah.
They stand there and go, oh, what happened? I want my Kenyan latte.
And it's not there.
Well, there's a book called The Paradox of Choice. And once you have so many choices, you actually get irritated when you think you haven't picked the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pick something, then you leave and go, oh, damn it, I should have picked that other thing.
Yeah, should have picked the red one. Yeah.
Yes. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm so happy with what I've got, which was the case before because there wasn't that many choices.
Right.
I mean, what are there, 500 TV stations now?
At least, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have thumb injuries from going through the Netflix programs. After a while, I said, I can't take it anymore. I'm going back to the channel, the old movie channel.
Right. Right, exactly. Where you have the George Burns on there and
Right.
and all the rest of the gang, right? Absolutely. Well, that's true. Yeah. So too much choice, too much stuff can be overwhelming.
Makes you unhappy.
You know, it really does. I mean, that's why they say people who win the lottery that didn't have anything before and they win the millions and whatever, 500 million, anything.
Right.
It's usually evaporated because they grab everything and blow it and then whoosh, don't know how to
Right.
manage it.
And they're miserable again.
And then they're miserable again. Exactly. Right. And so it's like, and then you'll find you come across somebody who drives a 25-year-old car that blows out blue smoke out of the exhaust, looks just like a regular everyday person. They go home to their house with a 400-foot driveway in the woods, and they plant their flower garden and they grow their tomatoes, and they don't have the Wi-Fi and all the other, and they're happy and content.
Well, what is it that really makes you feel good?
It's amazing.
Everything you think is going to make you
That's
feel
right.
good. After a while, you're not interested anymore. It gets old, but that's what America has become. Oh, you have the iPhone. Let's get you a new iPhone, because now this is getting tiresome. You need the one that has a better camera. Like, what are you, Stiglitz? I mean, what are you doing with the camera? You know.
Don't you remember the Kodak that had a flash bulb on it that only had 4 flashes, and when the 4 flashes were used, you had to take the thing off and put another one on top.
Right.
And you couldn't see the photos right away. You had to send them off to be developed, and about 25% of them were blurry, or somebody's like this, or they were all, and that's what you lived with, and you got by.
Well, we used to get by with a lot of things, but now, it's like you've got to have the newest thing. And what really makes people feel good is purpose and passion. What is it that really drives you, that sort of showcases who you are and what you want to do with your life? And it's usually some purpose that actually is beyond you, that incorporates others and makes the world a better place. So,
Exactly.
I think that's the way I saw it, because I had relatives that taught me that. My grandmother was a big, proponent of humility and kindness. And, you don't need that. Save it. Give it to somebody else. And I mean, look at the closets. How many closets do you need?
Right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. I remember that when we would come up from New York to visit relatives in Connecticut and Massachusetts, I remember as a kid that when I would grow out of my clothes, they would save some of the clothes and we'd bring them up to the relatives in Connecticut. And then it was like a regular thing that a younger cousin then would be handed my clothes. You'd pass them off to the other cousin, because the clothes were still like new, or they were still in good condition. So as opposed to just tossing them, and that's before people really started doing Goodwill and Salvation Army and all that. And they would no. Oh, I'm going to throw this shirt out. No, you're not. We're going to bring that up to the relatives in Connecticut, and Petey's going to get that.
Right.
They don't do that anymore.
I wish I had followed my mother's dictates more often than not. I mean, she was the frugality queen, and that came from the Depression and World War II. And unfortunately, I think that, I spent more money on things that I didn't have to have when I was younger, that I wish now I hadn't, because you know what the most important thing in life is? To have enough money to get old.
That's really true. That's really true.
You don't have savings, you're going to be in big trouble.
Right, exactly.
Because you're going to have to go suck off somebody else who has some.
Right. And that's not if you live long enough where a lot of the family is gone, or friends are gone too, where you don't have people to turn to, and then you're really stuck. Karen Levitt says studies show, she's a life coach actually up in New Hampshire. Cool. I interviewed her on the radio not that long ago. She's usually an avid fan of the show on Jim Master Show Live. She says studies show lately children are experiencing large amounts of anxiety when they don't have a cell phone. It's a bit sad. We went outside, after school and we played. Right. We created our own fun.
Essentially, you have to become the fun you're seeking. You are the fun. Cuckoo. Inventing fun was something that children used to do. They didn't need a special thing to have fun. They went out and made a bow and arrow out of sticks and twigs, and they made little houses in the lots. They would find old wood and make a little fort. And now you go to the store and you buy the fort.
And it's all plastic, and the kid doesn't like it because it only has one door instead of three.
Exactly. It doesn't have a bed with numbers that you can punch up so they can sleep better.
So then a tantrum follows.
Exactly. No, the cell phone thing, that's the fault of the parents. I mean, I have seen toddlers holding cell phones. I mean,
absolutely. It's so true. I think when people are glued to it. I mean, you could be in the middle of a conversation and a really good conversation. Maybe you haven't seen somebody in a long time and you want to really, share some exciting things with them. And all of a sudden they won't, a phone call comes in and they say, hold on a minute. And they go right to the phone.
Exactly. Because, after all, you're a dirtbag.
You're no longer important. You're no
longer important.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, that's unbelievable when people do stuff like that, right?
I know. Listen, it drives me crazy when I call a doctor's office or somebody and they say, can you hold a minute? I have another call. I said, well, what happened to my call? Wasn't I the one who called before that call?
Exactly. I don't know what the heck, Oh, actually, can you hold on for a minute, Loretta? I do have a call coming in. What? Yeah. Bread and milk. Wow. That's all that's needed is bread and milk. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, the bread and milk. Yeah. So the bread gets moldy and the milk goes sour. And why not just go out and get some cheese and wine?
I think exactly. And you said something once, I don't know if it was on one of the public television specials or it was on stage, but it was really, really terrific. And it was, I think it was something about, how people, when they're in the supermarket, they have to call home to tell the other person, I've got bread and milk. Right. I've got the bread and milk.
Yes.
Can't you just get it and go home?
Yeah. Because you see, I think we have lost the ability to feel good about ourselves because we don't have the grandmother and the grandfather and the relatives living with us who used to sort of tell us who we were in some ways and gave us guidance. And so now we hunger for other people's opinions. So we're always calling somebody. Oh, I'm standing here in a line. Yeah, you didn't know that? You got to tell somebody? I mean, really? I'll tell you, we've lost it. We
have got some good comments coming in here. Austin Greenfield says this is very funny interview.
Thank you for making me laugh. Good. Laugh away. That's the best revenge.
Just the way
it's the best revenge.
Some of it also that adds to it is your delivery, the way you say the words. People love mine too. Exactly. The delivery, mannerisms, humor, the quickness is from the dad. Exactly right. Exactly.
Well, my husband, who has played for everybody, Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers, he said, you have great timing. And that's what makes people laugh.
Yes. Exactly. The timing. Exactly right. Exactly.
And that's what humor is all about, finding the right place to stop and start and get the laugh and continue.
So when did you decide? And again, there might be new people because we get a lot of viewers from all across the United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, Australia.
Cool.
we reach a lot of people on the Jim Masters Show live. And if you're just joining us, everybody, I'm your host, Jim Masters. This is the extraordinary and incomparable and hilarious Loretta LaRoche, humorist, stress management expert, Dalai Lama,
Dalai Lama,
and Mother Teresa, whatever you want her to be, she is. And she is extraordinary. She's the author of multiple books. She's had 6 very successful public television specials. I'm honored to call her a dear friend. We've known each other for years, and I had the pleasure of interviewing her on public television multiple times. And that's when we just stayed together. You know, when you think about it, Loretta, sometimes we do get very stuck in worrying about what everybody else is doing, right? And that's a problem. And when you do that, you're not living authentically. You're not living your own life.
No, be who you are. Everyone else is taken. Oscar Wilde said that.
Right.
You know, if you need to worry, get up early and worry in advance. Worry so that you get it covered for the day.
So are you, I will say that I've always probably been somebody, which what you just said probably holds true to, who tries to, didn't necessarily work at 7 o'clock tonight, but who tries to prevent problems before they happen.
Well, that's not bad. That's not a bad thing.
Well, that's not bad.
You'll probably drive yourself crazy, but that's okay. We have to have people like you.
To try to prevent the things before don't cross the street because a car may come.
You're going to hurt yourself. Don't run with that stick in your hand. You'll poke your eye out.
Yeah.
But you don't poke your eye out. You can't poke it in. You can poke it out. You know, all these things.
Don't cross the street. Don't cross the street on a dirt road in Wyoming where there's no cars ever in 50 years. But don't cross the street. A car may come. A lot of people.
Parents do that to protect you. They think they're protecting you, but you know, some people just have so much anxiety, so they pass it on. So they pass it on to their children, and so then we have another anxiety person roaming the earth.
Martha Oliver Swartz said that we drank water from the hose, rode bikes without helmets, rode in cars with no seat belts, and everybody sidecar. Everybody survived.
Some of us are alive.
Karen Levitt played with sticks. She ate dirt and had fun. Didn't kill her. Did you eat dirt, Loretta?
I think I did. I mean, I didn't purposely eat dirt, but if something fell on the floor, I would pick it up and eat it. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say that. I wasn't going to throw it out. Now everybody's throwing it out, spraying it. I mean, I know during this virus, everybody's spraying everything. But, you know, all that bottled water, if you don't even understand, plastic is not a good thing.
Right.
And it's in plastic. And a lot of it has 3 6s on the bottom? 7?
Yeah.
The biophosphates are cancer producing.
Right.
So, you know, the hose was probably a good thing. And you know, we used to fall off our bikes and get scabs.
Right.
I think scabs were really something that kept you busy.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, now everything is, you know, they want to wrap children in bubbles, you know, and just have them walk around in bubbles and not be out there doing the stuff that they, you know, that's how you learn, right? That's how you learn.
Exactly. You have to put your NASA suit on to ride a bike now.
So what are some things that you're working on now? I know right now, obviously things have been quiet, but things are slowly starting to open up, Loretta. What are some things you've been doing to keep busy and some of the things that you're working on for the future?
Well, I'm getting calls to do these virtual gigs, which I told you I think is difficult because there's nobody there. I'm talking into a black hole. So I'm sort of training myself to do Zoom to do Zoom, Chrome, Firefox, whatever the hell it is. I'm doing all that.
Firefox.
Foxy.
Yeah, that's probably yeah, Firefox. And what about now? In order to keep up with everybody, you have to make sure that you are connected on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn,
Yep.
Twitter,
Facebook,
Tumblr, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and Twitch.
Oh, no, Twitch and Tinker and Blunder and Poo Poo and Doo Doo and
I mean, Twitch. I mean, to me, this is a Twitch, but you got to keep up.
There's something actually called Twitch.
There is, yeah, and you're supposed to be on it.
Oh.
If you're not on it, you're not in the in crowd, Loretta. So they say.
Oh no! What is Twitch? What is it? What do? You Twitch and bitch. What do you do?
It's another one of those like Snapchat, WhatsApp, just another place to post, one-liners and post yourself and your face and create an image. And
you know what's really sad? We're not promoting mediocrity.
Right.
When I was a kid, mediocrity was not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
If you did something, you should do it well.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have a lot of half-assed people doing things, and everybody goes, "Oh, wasn't that good?" No, it wasn't good. It sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the music that's out there today, I just want to put a fork in my eye when I hear it.
Yeah.
I'm living with a world-class musician who's played for everybody and has, soloed with the Pops and all kinds of people. And he hears some of this stuff and he says, this is not music anymore.
No, it's a lot of it is very, auto-tuned and synthesized, and
right.
You don't have the orchestral instruments, and you don't. I'm a big music buff myself, and you just don't have the warmth of the instruments, and even in the vocals. So you would actually sing melodies. You know what I mean?
Well, you have drum loops now. You don't have a real drum. You got a drum loop. And I've been privileged to hear some really amazing musicians. I made an album, a jazz album. You showed it. I Concentrate on You.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great jazz album with some really amazing performers. Some of them played with Tony Bennett, and other people, and I got them on my album. So I got to hear all these people since I've known Kenny. And you get such an appreciation for really good music.
Yeah, absolutely.
These poor kids, they don't even know who Gershwin is.
That's scary. Yeah, I mentioned Lucille Ball and Jackie Gleason to a few, and they had no idea who they were.
No. No, well, it's all names you can't even speak. Asha Bobak, it's like being in Nigeria.
It could be. Somebody asked, what instrument do you play? Do you play one?
No, I sing. I do a lot of jazz singing.
No, that's something that I don't know if a lot of people, know that you do that, right? Do you get a chance to do that often here and there?
Oh yeah, I do we do shows. Jazz and Jest is one of the shows we've done. And Kenny's from New Hampshire, Manchester.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So yeah, we've done a lot of those shows. I do one about my grandparents, Love, Laughter, and Lasagna.
Yes.
And but the singing is so cool because they come here, 4 of them on Fridays before we got infected, and we just have a whole jam session for a couple of hours, and it's so uplifting. People don't realize how important it is to have music and dance and art and all of those things in their lives.
Right. You're infected?
Yeah, I'm infected. That's what I do. I'm rejected. I'm infected.
That's basically. That's,
I swear to God, we're a duo here.
and you're not on Twitch.
No, I'm not twitching. I could bitch. Maybe bitching would be a good.
You know, I'm
thing.
surprised somebody hasn't come out with it. Come out with that one. You should really.
Yeah, that would be a good one, bitching.
You should join us in adult jazz band camp in the summer, but of course not this year. Mary Ann Burgess Sopolak.
Where is she from?
Mary Ann, where are you located? Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah, I can't join you if I don't know where you are.
Nigeria, where you mentioned earlier.
Nigeria. No.
So when did you realize there was this wonderful opportunity to blend comedy with the actual message that you have to really try to live a more happier, fulfilling, stress-less life, and all the meat and potatoes of what you really do with the dressing of the humor? When did you realize the two melded for you? I mean, it's perfect for you because you're so spectacular at it. I've said that multiple times.
I don't know. I just started reading a lot of things in psychology, especially, as I said, Albert Ellis, who really was the grandfather of rational emotive therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy. And when I started reading him, and I taught exercise and meditation, and I wanted to add stress management, and I started sort of aligning myself with what he was saying, because he was really pointing out the absurdity in so many thinking patterns. And I've always sort of been able to do that.
Right.
People say things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand it. You know, somebody will say, I can't stand it. Well, sit down. You know, it's just like, oh, look at all this traffic. Yeah, okay. I looked at it. Now what do I do? I mean, it's things people say that is so bizarre. Can you believe it? It's raining. No, I didn't believe it until you told me. Now I know it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you know, and if I'm the last man on earth, there will always be some guy that will cut me off and make a left in front of me.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's.
But I just felt that if I could get people to sort of tune in to their absurdity and the recognition that what they were saying really didn't serve them and didn't make any sense, that they might have an epiphany and not do it anymore.
Right.
So,
exactly.
And one of the other people that I really paid attention to was Dr. Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Mm-hmm. He was incarcerated in Auschwitz, and he was a psychiatrist and I believe a neurobiologist. And he's the one who came out with the fact that humor was the soul's preservation, that even in the depths of horror, people could elicit a little bit of humor here and there. Mm-hmm. And he created something called paradoxical intention, which means if you take something that disturbs you and you increase the disturbance to the point where it becomes ridiculous, you will start to back off from it. Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. That's so true. That's really true.
Because we do it anyway. We disturb ourselves by creating, catastrophizing, and awfulizing. Oh my God, what are we going to do? I'm never going to get there. I'm going to, all right, so take it to the max. I'm never going to get there. They're going to find me dead in my car tomorrow. And then you start to say, wait a minute, that's not going to happen.
Right, exactly. So do we overthink and over-worry with everything?
A lot of people do. Not everybody does. Some people ought to spend some time doing that because they don't do it at all. They become just, mired in inertia.
Right.
So
that doesn't that sound like a great cover, a great title for a book or a Broadway play? Mired in inertia.
Mired in inertia.
That sounds like
Somewhere-
somebody's aunt and uncle from Brooklyn. This is Aunt Myers, and this is Uncle Inertia.
Right.
Somebody said,
Well, I always think of
Marianne
what
said
from
from the,
CT, but Rochester. Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
yeah, she's from Connecticut, and the
Oh,
camp is in Rochester, and it's for
wow.
instrumentalists and vocalists, which is
Vocalist. Oh, wow. If I can be let out of the prison of infection, I'm not infected, but
yeah. But there is the risk. There is the risk.
yeah, well, I every time I put my mask on, I feel like the Lone Ranger.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
keep looking for Tonto. I don't know where he is.
You know, it's really funny. I when I put it on to go into, a place of business, I feel odd only because I feel like they must be, can you imagine when people went into a place of business with a mask on previously, they were going to hold the place up. And now they're
They
not going to
think
be
you
able, yeah. And now they're not going to be able to decipher who's who.
right.
The 95-year-old woman that's coming in a cane has got a mask on.
Right.
Is she going to hold us up, or is it going to be the 17-year-old kid with the mask on? It's
Right.
everything's totally changed.
It certainly is. It's reversed itself. Or I call it the nutbag society.
Yeah, yeah.
We're all turning into nutbag.
Did you?
What?
Did you? Huh?
Huh?
Did you?
I want to write a book called "Just Shut the Hell Up."
That would be perfect. How many pages would it be?
2.
That's it. Just shut on page 1, the hell up on
Right.
page 2.
Right.
Would you have a book signing with that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love the idea. Really, just shut the hell up. Oh, the other one is, I think BS. BS is a big thing in this culture. BS.
Oh yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I don't know if I can say it on your thing, but it's BS, the new American reality, because a lot of things are just BS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Take this, eat that, do that. Anti-aging. I mean, anti-aging. I don't want to be against aging. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Right. Exactly. No, it's better to be, to feel well, but you can't necessarily turn back time. And, if you turn back time, then you sort of erase any pleasures and things that you've experienced in your life. Like Kathleen Walker, who's from Queens, New York. She lives in New York City in Queens. She's a good friend.
Crazy out there.
She works for a company that works for the New York Mets. Kathleen, and she said, yeah, and she says it's just crazy out there. She's right. It really, really is. So what are we to do, Loretta? What do we do? You've been observing people for a number of years. You've written about them. You've spoken about them. Do we, there are some people that are actually saying they're enjoying the shelter in place. They're actually enjoying.
It's not easy for everybody.
No. But there's some that are actually saying there are some people saying they are preferring sheltering in place, and they actually don't want to go out again. They're liking it more than dealing with the public. I'm hearing that a lot from people.
Right. And of course, that's probably a minority of people. I mean, the young people who have been accommodated now to having a cell phone when they're in the uterus are not feeling the same way because they're used to being out and about. But I think we're going to have a new normal, a new way of looking at life, I hope. Yeah. And one of the ways, I think, is to start embracing understanding and kindness towards one another.
Right, exactly.
Stop being so judgmental about who's doing what and what they are and what race, what color, what gender. I mean, just embrace it. I have a biracial great-grandson. He's absolutely adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is where it's going. The more we can meld the races, probably the more intelligent and unique we will become.
Right, exactly.
And then, laugh your ass off, for God's sake. I've been trying for years. It's still the same size. And that's a chemistry. Some people have a hard time laughing because they don't have the chemical predisposition.
Some people, right, exactly. My father would describe them as dreck, but that's a whole other conversation. That's a New York word for sure. People that just didn't get the joke or just didn't, because humorous person, and just, you get a lot of people who just don't, there's no empathy and there's
Right.
there's no sense of humor. And if you're somebody that doesn't have empathy and sense of humor, that's a tough situation.
It's a very tough situation. And we better start moving towards that, because we're going to be in deep doo-doo if we don't.
So, I mean, you've done everything gloriously all these years. Have people been listening?
I did my TED Talk.
Yes.
It's gotten 740,000 likes so far.
Yes.
What
was that like for you? That's quite an experience to be asked to do a TED Talk.
Well, it was kind of weird because the person who was in charge of it was not that adept at doing it. So it wasn't.
Lydia Cornell is a wonderful actress. Lots of television shows, lots of great material. She starred in Too Close for Comfort, the series with Ted Knight, the glorious Ted Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's absolutely. We hope to welcome her as a guest soon here on the show as well. Yeah,
I'm so honored that I'm in the mix.
You have quite a group of people here from all around the world that are on it. And my sister, Lori, who's in Florida with Mom and the family in Florida, says they don't get it, meaning what you're saying. People just don't get it. They don't get the humor. They don't get the empathy.
Right. But
thank you, Lydia. We appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the show, Lydia. That's
really chemistry. You have to recognize that they are at the mercy of their chemistry. They don't have enough dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine. Those are all things that are part and parcel of getting the laugh, or they're embarrassed, or God knows. I mean, how many people grew up listening to, that's not funny. Stop it. You don't want, what do people say? And, so then you become afraid. I mean, my mother was always worried about what people were going to say. Don't do that. What do people say? I said, I don't know. I haven't even seen them yet. How do I know what they're going to say?
Lydia says she loves your humor. So you've got a new fan in Lydia Cornell.
That's awesome.
You know who's also
I'll have to go on my community Facebook page.
Yes. You know who's also funny? I'm sure you've seen him. Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian. And he said,
oh my God.
Yeah, yes.
I love him.
There are elements that remind me of you in terms of his observations of life. And I think that's why I like that kind of humor. Some of George Carlin's material too, about the observations of life. Ernie Kovacs.
I love
Remember Ernie Kovacs too?
Oh yeah, Ernie Kovacs.
Another.
But George Carlin got a little dark towards the end of his life.
Towards the end, he did. Towards the end,
but Sebastian is so funny because he's got that whole Italian thing going on about his father. He said, "Dad, I want a dog," and he was like 8 years old. He said, "I really want a dog." And his father said, "You go down the street, they have a dog, you pet it, and come back home."
Right, exactly. And he said something else that reminds me of something you would have said, a definite observation. I loved it. He said, do you remember years ago when somebody would knock on the door and and everybody would jump up and run to the door? Right. Somebody's visiting. We have somebody at the door. The kids would be in their pajamas and they would slide to the door. Right. Everybody would go to the door happy. Right. Somebody, a neighbor or company coming, come on in. And now when you knock on the door, somebody knocks on your door, everybody says, duck, shh, quiet, don't say a word, shut the lights off.
Right.
Now, it's a total opposite. And then the other thing. The other thing he said that was
Well,
hilarious.
they're watching Netflix.
They're like, right. So they don't want to answer the door. They're like, who the hell is that? Who's at the door? Who's knocking on our
Right.
door? And it used to be when the phone would ring, and the phone hanging on the wall in the kitchen,
Right.
or in the den or wherever, when the phone would ring, the rotary phone, people would get up and say, "Ooh, somebody's calling. Let's go get the phone." Now, when the phone rings, people say, "Who the hell is calling?"
Right.
It just reminds you of
Right.
stuff that you would say, observations. And then there's a third one that he talks about. And that is, do you remember years ago where your mother or grandmother or aunt would have this special Entenmann's or this special cake or pie that you're not allowed to touch because that's for the company. That's for the company. That's for the company that's not here, but it's for the in case the company comes.
They might come over.
Right. And the good dishes and that
Oh, yeah. I had good dishes.
that's for the company.
We could view them. They were in the cabinet. We viewed them. We had viewings.
But you could never use them. You couldn't use them. Exactly.
They were for people we didn't know.
And the bundt cake was for the company that may come.
And the good towels, only good towels.
The good towels. That's right. Put the good towels out. And then when people would come over, and I think they still do this, all the overcoats get thrown on a bed in the bedroom on somebody's bed. And then you'd have to go through the mound of coats to find out which coat is yours. Exactly. That's the way it used to be. I mean, it was more natural.
Those are good towels. We don't want you to have the good towels. Here, take these rags. You're the relatives. Wipe yourself with that.
Were your parents funny? Tell us about your mom and dad and your grandmother.
My mother was funny. She was funny and also, quite strange. I mean, she was like a force to be reckoned with. She wanted me to be perfect. And I was the only child. So she was kind of a smother mother. I had to be perfect. You better do that because you never know. It's always, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you don't know, but you just never know.
Right.
So you're always scared out of your mind because you never know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Make the bed. You never know. I don't know who was going to check the beds. Who was coming to check the beds? The bed checkers? Did they come on Sunday?
That's right. Exactly. How about your dad?
He wasn't really. They got divorced, believe it or not, when I was like 7. So I didn't spend a lot of time with him. She remarried.
Yeah.
And he was kind of non-existent.
Yeah.
He was kind of a weird duck. So the happiest times in my life were when I lived in Brooklyn and my grandparents were there. I mean, I left there when I was about 8 and went to Hempstead. Yeah. And life started to really suck after that. And I went to Catholic school, and those people were nuts. The sisters are perpetual mood disorder. My life hasn't always been easy. I've had to go through situations where I've struggled and everything, but I think my sense of humor has really helped me.
It has gotten you through, exactly. And it helps so many other people as well. As a matter of fact, I think Karen, she says up here, I'll share this 7 minutes of laughter a day, which equals 10 minutes on the rowing machine. 7 minutes of laughter equals 10 minutes on the rowing machine.
Yeah, and it burns 40 calories. 10 minutes of laughter burns 40 calories.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It increases your killer T cell count, and it improves your artery function. So, and a lot of people are walking around squeezing, and that's why we have so many people who are constipated in America. Squeezing their little butt cheeks together. I call it sphincterizing.
You did a whole show with that. We were talking about that, the tightening of
tightening of the butt cheeks.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, the more uptight you are, the less, you can't relax, so you don't go to the bathroom.
So what are the things that make Loretta LaRoche laugh? Just life itself?
I don't know, serendipity. I never really go around looking to laugh. It just happens in the moment. Laughter, it really happens in the moment.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
You can't force it,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Exactly.
I can get a kick out of the squirrel falling off the bird feeder. So
Did that just happen?
it happens every day because they're looking for the seed, and I get the seed that has pepper in it, and they don't like it.
Revenge.
So I don't know. I don't look for it. It just is there.
That's
there.
right. Right. Exactly. When you look at everything that you've done thus far, and again, you're extraordinary. And I've always told you on air and now on the show here, off air, and conversations we've had, writings and everything, that I think you're extraordinary, you're amazing, and you're a gift to us all. And when you look at all of it, what are some of the greatest joys you've had in doing all of this work that you continue to do so beautifully, Loretta?
Well, I think the fact that I've been very blessed to be able to do what I do. It wasn't easy. I worked very hard at it. It didn't just happen out of thin air. People say, "Oh, you're so lucky." Oh, that well, no, it isn't luck. It's tenacity. You really have to work towards what you want in life. That's how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose and passion and goal setting. And I had great passion for what I do. And the other thing is, I happen to meet some extraordinary people like the Dalai Lama, presidents of the United States, prime ministers, of England, movie stars. I mean, I don't know. The beat goes on. All kinds of incredibly interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
My gig at Harvard was really great. 15 years I spent as an adjunct faculty member of the Mind Body Medical Institute, which was affiliated with Harvard at that time. That was cool, and I got to meet these extraordinary research people who really added to my credentials and my understanding of what I was doing. Because years ago, I studied things that were considered woo-woo, Reiki and levitating and all kinds of stuff that people would say, "What? That's nuts."
Yeah.
But in many ways, all of that added to my life's sort of situations, and I'm glad I got to do all those things.
Exactly. I mean, it was a time when you used to say Reiki, and they thought you were scooping up all of the leaves on your front lawn, right? With Reiki.
Exactly. Yeah, and yoga. I taught yoga for many years. I was certified in yoga. And then I taught aerobics for 20 years, which is why I have 4 implants now, 2 knees, a shoulder, and a hip. I have a lot of arthritis, so, I'm walking around like Quasimodo.
I asked somebody once what kind of yoga do they really enjoy, and they said they like the kind that has the strawberry at the bottom.
Oh my God. That's funny. But I think what we have to do is we have to keep learning and grow. Learning is the important issue. Learning. Don't become your own Groundhog Day.
Right. Oh, I like that. Don't become your own Groundhog Day. That's true, because a lot of people do that, right? They get sort of just stuck on themselves and on what their little, square.
I love what was it with that movie with Newman and Elizabeth Taylor?
Oh yeah, I know which one.
Hat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Oh yeah.
When he walks around, I'm surrounded by mendacity.
You know which one I love too, and I still love it. There was 2. Neil Simon, of course. I've loved Norman Lear's work too, but Neil Simon, and it was The Out of Towners when Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis. He had Yeah, and they got lost in New York. He was coming for a big job from Ohio. They hadn't been to New York, and he was coming for that big job, and everything that could possibly go wrong to Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis happens. And it was so beautifully done. It's so funny. They tried to do a remake with Goldie Hawn, and I think Steve.
Right, it didn't work.
It just didn't work. And then the other one was Jack Lemmon and Anne Bancroft, The Prisoner of Second
Right.
Avenue. Hilarious. That kind of
I
dry
love
wit.
all of those. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
kind of.
my favorite thing. I watch the old movies.
That's the good stuff. Exactly. Matter of fact, we just watched Network again recently. Mad as hell and not going to take
Oh,
it
yeah.
anymore.
Yes.
You should do an updated version of that. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
I don't know. I find it hard to get really mad.
Yeah,
I find it hard to get mad.
which is
I
good.
get more like thinking, please, are you kidding me? Are you real? Are you serious?
Right. Right. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. How many times a day do you usually say, "Are you kidding me?" I say it all the time. Are you?
I say it a lot now, especially with what's going on and the reporting we get. I can't even believe it. Seeing breaking news.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Okay. Are you serious?
So does the family?
There's like there's like an era of stupidity.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, there is. There is. Do you your children and your grandchildren?
What?
Does huh? Your grandchildren and your children, do they find you hilarious as well?
They think I'm nuts.
You said that fast. They do, huh? Are they chiming in right now?
Oh yeah.
Sending love? Are they watching?
They think no, they're not sending anything. They're
on Netflix or
they
whatever.
don't. They don't. You know, kids today. They're so used to me. You know.
Wait till you tell them that
they
you.
just,
Wait
oh
till
yeah.
wait till you tell them that you
Wait till
downloaded.
my what?
Wait till you tell them that you. Wait till you tell them that you downloaded Google
I
Chrome.
downloaded your phone.
Google Chrome.
Oh. Well, when I did so every Saturday night we have a virtual cocktail party, a couple of girlfriends and I. And I two times now I haven't been able to get on because I couldn't figure it out.
Tell them what you went through just to try to get on this show.
Oh,
Your browser wasn't
are you still
accepting
there?
you. Yep.
Are you still there?
Me or them?
I'm trying to. And I browse like it just it didn't like me.
The browser didn't like you. Isn't that amazing?
I don't know. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to text my partner, who's down the basement in his man cave, to bring me some water because my mouth is like a desert.
Water or vodka? The vodka dries you out.
Yeah, well, I didn't have that much of it, but now I need water.
Yeah. So, so what is your message for everybody, Loretta, as we get ready to wrap? What do we need to do? What are some things
What
that
do I
we?
want?
What are
Shut
some?
the hell up!
That's what we need.
Just shut the hell up. Oh God, no. What was my message? If I lighten up, just lighten up. Stop taking everything. I mean, we are in a situation that's very serious, but
Yeah.
overall, when you look at the whole context of your life and your daily life and what you're doing and what you're going to go back to, can you lighten up? Don't take yourself so seriously because you're not here that long.
Right.
Life is very short. And
Really,
the more you kvetch and drive yourself crazy, the shorter it will be.
that's true.
Revel in the now. That's the most. This is revel in the now. Enjoy every moment you have because that's the special occasion. the moment you're in.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing, right? Like we say, everything is unprecedented, but you know, that could really stand for everything. Like you said, unprecedented was the labor that you were in. That's unprecedented.
Yeah, I didn't do that before.
Right. Exactly. So
Use everything you have, your good, your clothes, the dishes, and celebrate whenever you can.
you really have to do that, right? You absolutely have to do that because life is short. You got to laugh. I mean, you got to really take time. And also, like you said, sort of rounding things out here that, with this could be a big reset, what we're going through right now. This could possibly be.
I really hope so.
You hope so. This could be an ultimate. Yeah. And this could be really an ultimate time for us to implement all the things that you've been trying to get across to all of us for years. More empathy, kindness, not get so hung up on those idiosyncrasies of life. I mean, have you noticed that every can and every jar and every package is tighter and more sealed tight and tougher to open than ever before? Everything's childproof now. I
couldn't even open a jar of pickles the other day. I mean, are there people who are allergic to pickles? It had a seal on it, like, they were protecting some kind of a nuclear weapon. Had to take the plastic off first, and then I had to try to open the jar, banging it. And what about us old broads with arthritic hands? What do? Do we just smash the jar and pick the pickles up on the floor? I mean, what do we do?
There's some material for the next. It's true. It's gotten tough when you can't open a jar of dill pickles.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The pickle, everything, every stinking thing you buy is double wrapped, encased in like foam and plastic and things like it's gonna blow up as soon as you open it. It's gonna blow up.
You are very right. Yeah.
So I have to get hand trauma, go to the emergency ward because what happened? I tried to open a jar of pickles.
I know, it's like that is funny. That's some of the basics in life for sure, Loretta. I tell you that we have to deal with. It can be crazy. I tell you. Well, you are. Like I said, a tremendous joy, and I really appreciate the amount of.
You.
I thank you. I love the friendship that we've had all these years, and it goes back a long time from when we first met when I interviewed you on public television.
I was very happy to see all the things you were doing. I thought, oh, great, because you're really great at what you do, and so who knows where you're going to go. And maybe at some point we can do something together.
I would love that. That would be fantastic. That would be.
Because as my mother said, I only have a few minutes left. I'm going to be 81 in September.
That's very hard to believe. That is.
Yeah.
Did you say September? When
September 19th.
Oh, I'm the 24th. So you're a Virgo.
Yep.
And I'm a Libra. So
well, I was a Virgo. I was. Yeah, the balance.
You was a Virgo.
I was. I'm not doing that again. I don't want to do that again. Enough already.
And I'm Libra, so we see both sides of the question. We like balance and harmony. But I have heard, because of being born on the 24th of September, that I have Virgo rising.
Good. Thank God something's rising.
I tell you.
Better to rise than to fall.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta
God.
laugh. Oh my God.
You do.
I tell you, this with you and little Jimmy here. He says hello.
Oh,
He
yes,
loves
Jimmy.
you.
Hi,
Jimmy
Jimmy.
loves you. Don't you wish you could
Well,
just hug him?
I hope you got a good audience tonight.
We have from all around the world. Don't you wish you could hug Jimmy, but you can't because you're in a little square box right now, going through your
I'm in a little box.
streaming through your Google Chrome.
Yes. Sounds like an appointment at a gynecologist. We're going to stream through your Google Chrome today.
And you know what happens when you have a weak stream? Everything becomes blurry. You become blurry.
Right.
Life becomes blurry when you have a weak stream.
Yeah. Then you gotta get a depends.
And there you go. There's Silver. Silver says hello and sends you his love.
Oh my God.
And you got the genie wrapping things up too. She's still stuck again in that bottle while she gives you her love. She can't get her hair done because the salons are closed. And your friend and mine, George. He loves you, Loretta. George loves you. He's got the cigar.
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh yeah, I can't wait. What are all? It's a lot of people laughing in the background.
Yes, and it's not a laugh
Who
track
is that?
either. These are
What
all.
is it?
What is it? You mean is it human?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, it's been an extraordinary pleasure, and I thank you very much.
Loretta, it really has, and I'm glad that you've been able to join us here on the show. Again, you're a true joy. You're a heck of a lot of fun, but there's a really important message behind all of the work that you do, and it's really, really important that people. Let's see, we've got Mom, Frank, and I have really enjoyed your show tonight. Loretta should be on with you weekly.
Oh, Loretta should be with you weekly.
And that's my sister in Florida. So my sister's watching, my mother's watching, my brother-in-law is watching, and they've enjoyed the show very much. They're in Florida. You're a hit in Florida.
That's an Italian name.
Frank, absolutely.
Romano.
Yes, absolutely. And Martha's sides hurt.
My maiden
Her sides hurt.
My maiden name was Perazzo.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And, so Loretta Perazzo.
Perazzo. Yeah.
And my maiden name is still Masters. Her side. Is there a delay? Is this mic working? As Dangerfield used to say. As Dangerfield used to say, is this mic on full? Her sides hurt. Full. Yeah, her sides hurt from laughing so much.
That's good.
Does anything hurt?
My front hurt.
I was going to say, does anything hurt on you? They're all
everything.
They want you on with me weekly, Loretta.
Oh, Madonna mia.
Well, if we did, we certainly wouldn't go this long. We're closing the place. Loretta, you've been wonderful. I think we had the same mother. You had the same mother growing up. See, you're not an only child, Loretta. Karen and you are sisters.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
You have the same mother.
There's a lot of those. Well, could be. Who knows where they went? We could be like Howard Stern and Robin.
Which one do you want to be?
I want to be Howard.
I knew that.
Oh my God.
Loretta, you can say that on television. Absolutely. Loretta.
Well, I hope you will keep in touch.
Yes, yes. And we'll have you back too. Again, we've just been having a fun fest here, but love to have you back. And maybe, we could do something where you come on every once in a while, tell us what you're doing and lighten the load. You're always welcome, Loretta. Right. You're always welcome.
Well, thank you. And I wish you great success.
I appreciate that, Loretta. And you're a true blessing. You're a joy. The best to you and the family. And we'll be seeing you soon. I'm sure.
You too.
Once this
you and the
Romano. Yeah, whole kit and caboodle. Love you very much, Loretta. I really value our friendship, and it's an honor to know you and call you a friend. And I wish you nothing but the very
You're
best.
garbled.
I'm giving my.
Love you, Jim.
Yeah, I love you too. And you take care, Loretta. You have a wonderful night, and we'll stay in touch as we always do. And
Thank you.
and
Yes.
you can come back
All right.
anytime.
Have fun. It's the best revenge.
That's right. Love you, Loretta.
Love you too. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. You have a good night. Thanks for spending all this time with us tonight. You made a lot of people laugh.
Good. I'm glad.
So well, here's what everybody wants to know. What are you going to do? She's going to relax and have the vodka. Wasn't she great? That's Loretta LaRoche. Boy, what a hoot. That was hilarious. Wow. An extended version of our show. Again, the shows grow longer and longer and longer. Everybody here says good night. Martha Oliver Schwartz's 9-year-old grandson's birthday is today. So we say happy birthday to Martha Oliver Schwartz's grandson, Alex. Thanks for being a big fan of the show as well. And to my dear friends, Frank and Karen Panzer, they are celebrating their 15-year anniversary, and they're very close friends, and we go out to dinner with mutual friends. They're in Florida right now. They said they're coming back up north, so we'll hopefully get out to dinner, probably at an outdoor restaurant, because everything is still, for a while, all the indoor restaurants are still unavailable, but we'll be dining outside, probably on the shoreline along the coast. And Martha Oliver Schwartz says, oh my God, Jim, that was the best. Well, blessings to Alex and to you and the family, and to your grandson, Alex, on his 9th birthday. I loved my 9th birthday. I loved my 10th birthday too. Matter of fact, my 9th birthday, I was probably playing with one of these paddle balls and those Matchbox cars and all the other cool stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for being with us. You guys have been, a couple people dropped off, which makes sense. Got to go to bed sometime, right? But thanks for joining us. We thank our very special guest, Loretta LaRoche. And again, all of you are a star to me. You guys take care. And again, our very special guest, Loretta LaRoche, who is truly amazing. Isn't she wonderful? If you go on YouTube, you can see a lot of her material as well. This show, as all the shows are archived on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. They're also archived right here on Facebook as well. I want to remind you too, boy, do we have some amazing guests that are coming up. And if you didn't hear the guests that are coming up, well, let me show you just a couple of them here. Buffy Ford Stewart, who is a legendary singer-songwriter, children's book author, is going to be joining us. She lives out in California. And she's amazing. She's a dear friend as well. Interviewed her at her home in San Francisco for a television interview and documentary that we did on her life. Her husband was John Stewart, who wrote the song Daydream Believer for the Monkees and Davy Jones. She is extraordinary. We had a full day at her house, and she opened up her life to me. And it was a wonderful, wonderful, you can see the actual interview on my YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV, the full interview with Buffy Ford Stewart. She's actually going to join us live next week, next Thursday here on the program. So stay tuned for that. She's amazing. Again, she's a singer-songwriter. She is also working on a major motion picture celebrating the life of her husband, songwriter John Stewart. He also wrote the song Gold, which Elvis made famous, and he was also one of the founding members of the Kingston Trio. That's Buffy Ford Stewart joining us, and also saxophonist Mike Casey, extraordinary saxophonist. He's going to be on the show. Dwight Turner is going to be on our broadcast as well. He's a Screen Actors Guild brilliant actor in movies and television and commercials and so much more. Mark Vitale is going to be joining us as well. I'm very excited about that. He is a veteran on Broadway, singer and dancer and actor and so much more. He was Jesus in the Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and so much more. And no, Jesus Christ Superstar, that is. And Tim Janis is going to be joining us as well, composer. We just worked on a television special last year with him, Celtic Heart. He's amazing. I MC his concerts at Carnegie Hall every year. And we have so many other great guests. The Harp Twins on Monday. They are a YouTube sensation. They are extraordinary. If you don't know who they are, check out their YouTube channel and everything else. They are incredible. They are twins, of course, the Harp Twins, Camille and Kennerly Kitt. They're going to be joining us here on Monday. And I worked with them on a PBS special as well. They are phenomenal. And we have so many more guests that are joining us as well. And again, there's that shot of the wonderful Loretta LaRoche and myself. She really is an amazing person, and she really is spirited. And we're so happy to have had time with her, this amount of time with her on the show. After this episode, she's going to need another vodka, that's for sure. All right, gang, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, this is Jim Masters. We will be back with a very special episode tomorrow night of the Jim Masters Show Live. I can't believe it's 9:23 p.m. Eastern. We were set out to do these shows for an hour, and now it's almost 2.5 hours. It's unbelievable. I guess when you have fun and you deliver light and levity, you just roll with it. All right, guys, we'll have a shorter show tomorrow, but a really good one. So I hope you join us as well. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, I am your host, Jim Masters. We are here 7 p.m. Eastern, and that is every night, and 4 p.m. Pacific. Feel free to follow us at Jim Masters TV on Facebook. That's where all the shows happen live, and also on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, if you do have a birthday coming up, an anniversary, a special celebration, you can shoot me a message on Facebook, and I'll announce it on the show for you, like we did for Alex and for the Panzers today. And also, you can send an email to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. All right, gang, that's a wrap. Thanks for being with us on the show. Love you all. Thanks for all of the comments, sharing the links, enjoying the show. So many of you are telling me you're enjoying the shows so much. Again, it's only 4 weeks. We're still a young baby in progress, tweaking and growing. And as long as you spread the word and you keep joining us, we'll have something for you to enjoy to lighten the load every night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Love you all. You take care. You have a wonderful evening. And again, I really appreciate you being with us here on the Jim Masters Show. My goodbyes are very long, aren't they? I'm not a good goodbye person. You have a good night. Take care. Love you all. See you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We'll have all the gang here, and I hope you're here too. Good night.